Imagine waking up to the news that China's richest elites have quietly shifted an unbelievable $47 billion into golden amount. So massive it's causing shockwaves in global markets. These aren't ordinary investors. These are people with access to the deepest economic data, privileged government signals, and insider forecasts years before the public ever hears a whisper. So the real question is, what do they know about 2026 that we don't? In today's video, we're going to break down the hidden reasons behind this historic gold accumulation, why China's billionaires are abandoning their own currency, and how this move exposes China's growing economic storm, from collapsing real estate giants to silent capital restrictions, geopolitical tensions, and the increasing fear of a global recession that analysts believe could peak in 2026. By the end of this video, you'll see why the wealthiest people in China are treating gold not as an investment, but as an emergency lifeboat, and why their actions might be the clearest warning signal for the rest of the world. China's economic slowdown and wealth escape for decades. China's economy grew at an unstoppable pace, creating millionaires and billionaires faster than any country in history. But that era is ending. Growth has slowed to levels not seen since the 1990s, and China's wealthy class can feel the pressure building beneath the surface. They see shrinking exports, falling factory activity, and a consumer sector losing confidence. With capital controls tightening, billionaires are increasingly looking for ways to move wealth without alerting regulators. Gold has become their perfect escape vehicle, small, portable, untraceable, and globally accepted. It's the safest way to preserve wealth without drawing attention. Evergrande in the real estate implosion, China's property market was once the engine of national prosperity. Families poured their life savings into apartments. Developers became giants, and investors treated real estate as a guaranteed win. Then Evergrande collapsed, wiping out trillions in paper wealth and exposing the fragile foundation beneath the boom. Prices have been falling for years, with no sign of recovery. Wealthy families who once owned dozens of properties now face losses they never imagined. This shock has pushed billionaires to search for assets immune to China's real estate crash. Gold unconnected to property markets or government debt has become their ultimate safe haven. Yuan devaluation and dollar strength. China's billionaires are extremely sensitive to currency movements because a single policy change can erase billions of dollars in value overnight. As the US dollar strengthens and China's yuan weakens, the wealthy fear a sudden devaluation similar to 2015, when Beijing shocked the world by slashing the yuan. A weaker yuan makes overseas investments more expensive and destroys domestic purchasing power. Gold, however, moves in the opposite direction. When currencies fall, gold rises. So Chinese elites are now converting their fragile paper wealth into gold before the government considers any major currency adjustments, especially with global recession fears looming, geopolitical tensions, and sanction risks. Another powerful motive behind China's gold surge is the fear of Western sanctions. The tech war with the US, rising tensions over Taiwan, and restrictions on semiconductor exports all contribute to a growing sense of uncertainty. Billionaires watched Russia's oligarchs get hit with severe sanctions in 2022, with assets frozen worldwide. They know the same could happen to them if relations deteriorate. Gold, unlike bank accounts or foreign investments, cannot be sanctioned, frozen, or digitally blocked. It can be held privately, moved secretly, and stored anywhere. For China's richest, gold is the only asset immune to geopolitical pressure, government crackdowns on private wealth. In China, being a billionaire comes with unique risks. After high-profile crackdowns on tech giants and influential entrepreneurs, the wealthy have learned that fortunes can disappear instantly if they attract political attention. Billionaires witness the disappearance of business leaders, massive fines, and sudden government interventions. Many now keep a low profile and move wealth quietly into assets the state cannot easily monitor or confiscate. Gold fits this perfectly. Unlike stocks companies or bank accounts that can be frozen or investigated, gold bars in a private vault leave no digital trace. It is the safest way to remain invisible. China's central bank gold accumulation. China's billionaires are not acting alone. Beijing itself has been aggressively buying gold, adding more than 1,000 tons in recent years, signaling a long-term shift away from the US dollar. This national strategy is impossible for the wealthy to ignore. When the central bank, with all its data, starts converting reserves into gold, it sends a massive warning that confidence in global currencies is weakening. Billionaires are simply copying the government's playbook. Diversify out of foreign debt, reduce exposure to the dollar system, and hold real assets with no counterparty risk. It's a coordinated wealth defense strategy. Global recession models pointing to 2026. Many financial analysts now point to 2026 as a critical breaking point for the global economy. Rising global debt, slowing growth, and structural weaknesses in multiple countries create a dangerous economic setup. China's elites are aware of these forecasts, from internal government data to private financial models predicting deflation waves and global credit tightening. If a worldwide recession hits, currencies will fall, stocks will crash, and real estate will sink even further. Gold, however, historically surges in times of crisis. Billionaires are preparing years in advance, positioning themselves for a scenario they believe is becoming increasingly unavoidable. What this means for regular investors, the actions of China's wealthiest, may seem distant from everyday life, but their decisions offer a major warning signal. When the richest people in the world quietly move into gold, it means they expect instability, and they expect it soon. For regular investors, this is a moment to reevaluate risk, diversify, manage debt, and understand the changing global landscape. Gold may not be the only solution, but it's a powerful indicator of where the elite believe the world is heading. Their massive $47 billion shift is not speculation, it's preparation, and it may be the clearest warning of the coming storm. As we've seen, the $47 billion flight into gold isn't a random trend or a speculative gamblet essay survival strategy. China's billionaires are reading the signs. A slowing economy, a collapsing property market, currency risks, political crackdowns, and mounting global tensions that point toward a potential recession by 2026. They're not waiting for the storm to arrive. They're already building lifeboats, and whether we like it or not, the moves of the ultra-wealthy often reveal where history is heading long before the rest of the world understands the danger. So ask yourself, if the people with the most information, the most resources, and the most elusive rushing toward gold, what should you be preparing for? If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep economic breakdowns that uncover the truths no one else is talking about.